Welcome to the C-Rock Productions Las Vegas Reopens video. We'll be giving you an overview of a trip to Las Vegas during opening week, travel, safety, restaurants, hotels, and more, and casinos, of course. So, this is our arrival at the Atlanta airport on our way to our flight. You may not be able to tell from this footage, however, the airports are very light these days. Not a lot of traveling. I think traveling's down 60%. We took a flight in the afternoon around 5 o'clock from Atlanta to Las Vegas. And as you can see, the Delta area is fairly light. And Delta is actually selling only about 60% of capacity on their flights for safety purposes, and they also require the use of masks on every flight. So if you don't have a mask, the airport itself recommends masks but doesn't require them. But if you need a mask for the flight, they will give it to you. Now, when we arrived in Vegas, you can tell very much that it was very empty. This is the terminal where Delta flights land. As you can see, this is 7 p.m. This is a very light traffic for an airport like Las Vegas. So as you noticed, the airport in Las Vegas is very distinct with slot machines. It's already a casino atmosphere going on. However, everything seems to be closed in Las Vegas. Even the Welcome to Las Vegas shop is closed. I mean, this is I've never seen Las Vegas airport this empty before, and we've taken early flights before, but I mean, this is 7 p.m. or a little after 7 p.m., and it's only the people on our flight in this whole terminal, it seems. So you can see the flight board is very spare, very light, only 2 screens being used, and no departures in the evening. It doesn't seem like. And again, you can see it's 7:10 or 7:17 at this time. The Quiznos closed. Many of the restaurants are closed. We know that the travel is down, but this was quite surprising to see how far down the travel is, even for Las Vegas. Now, important note, TSA does allow you to carry on large bottles of up to 12. So, and TSA is a lot lighter, of course, but if you remember, usually no more than 3.4 ounces are being able to be taken. But if you're using hand sanitizer, you can take a bottle up to 12 ounces. And at the same time, we wanted to talk a little bit about Delta's practice up until September 30th. They are going to have that limited capacity. Here's some more footage of Las Vegas and the airport, very empty. Welcome to Las Vegas. And here is the baggage area. Very few baggage handlers and very few baggage conveyors even being used. So this gigantic space is very sparse and empty, as you can see. We had a good flight in. We happened to use double masks, so the middle seat was available in our row, in every row on the flight. And of course, Delta does give out masks. We brought our own mask, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we actually used a double mask when we were on the airplane. So we arrived in Vegas again around 7 o'clock, and the airport was fairly empty. The airport does only have 2 terminals right now, Terminal 1 and 3. Terminal 2 has been shuttered. So after the airport, of course, we got on the rental car shuttle, and it was again very light for this time of day. And here's the rental car station. So basically, it's a good time to travel if you don't like crowds, because Vegas, as busy a place it usually is very sparse at the moment. And here you can see the rental car area. We rented from Hertz Rental Car, but all the major ones are open still. And here's a little break before we get to the Vegas trip. We'll talk a little bit about the PPE that we prepared before we traveled. So, with the current situation, PPE is very important to protect ourselves and others for this disease. So Definition of PPE, if you don't know, is personal protective equipment. It's protective clothing, helmets, goggles, other garments, or equipment designed to protect someone's body from injury or infection. The hazards addressed by protective equipment include physical, electrical, heat, chemicals, and airborne. And of course, that's what we're talking about, airborne. So as you can see, we were very conscious about bringing plenty of PPE. We brought just in case there wasn't stuff available to us, we brought wipes, we brought gloves, we brought masks, not only a couple of N95 masks, but we also brought some regular surgical masks. We even brought goggles. We didn't use them, but we brought them just in case we felt the need. We did not we did not wear, again, goggles. Of course, here's some supplements, vitamin C and vitamin D, which are said to be good supplements in terms of preventing COVID. We also brought many different types of wipes. We brought wipes for surface areas. We brought wipes for our personal use. In casino, there's a Nevada requirement for everyone to wear face coverings in public right now. At first, it was a recommendation only, but now it is definitely requirement. So while we were there, this wasn't enforced, and you'll see that in some of the upcoming footage. But during last week, Flamingo, they reported that they started contract tracing protocols to find out about 2 different cases from the Flamingo. 3 employees at the Northside Cafe at Harrahs tested positive, and the resort's testing all the employees. Then an employee even at Guy Fieri's Las Vegas kitchen and bar at the Linq tested positive. So they did not know, when that information came out. And then another employee at the Bellagio, where we actually did stay, tested positive for COVID-19. And that restaurant did close for a short time, but then reopened over the weekend. Now, one of the things, we wanted to talk about is the fact that we are very happy that Las Vegas has reopened, but it's very important to still be responsible about protecting yourself, because there are cases that are happening and spikes in other parts of the country, and I can imagine there'll be some spikes in Las Vegas as well. So as you can see, we brought a lot of protective gear. It's not that we used all of this; we just brought it. Of course, thermometers and things of that nature. And again, hand sanitizer. And I mentioned the fact that you're allowed to bring more hand sanitizer than typically would be allowed on a flight. And again, there's all kinds of different masks. There are N95 masks, which we did not use. We used a lot of surgical masks, and of course, hand sanitizer and gloves as well. And so, one of the things we wanted to talk a little bit about is that with surgical masks and cloth masks, those are useful and easier to wear. They're less restrictive, it seems, but at the same time, it still provides a little bit of protection. So we used the mask for the most part indoors where we were. So anyway, that is a little bit about PPE. So now what you came for is to talk about Vegas, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about Vegas. We're going to talk about the Strip experience, which hotels are open, when the others are expected to be open. We are going to do in-depth videos later, so please like and subscribe to this page. Share it and let people know this experience. First, let's talk a little bit about Vegas in general. Tourists walking around the Strip compared to normal is much less, and there are many casinos that are still not open. Early on in the week, there were many stores on the Strip that were boarded up still. We'll see some of that footage. We did notice the store hours are affected. For instance, the big CVS near Bally's closes early, around 7 p.m. However, the Walgreens near the Planet Hollywood was still open 24/7. So it's kind of a hit and miss on the Strip in terms of shopping and venues that are open. The walkways around the casino are very empty. All the crosswalks, the overhead crosswalks, are much lighter than normal. Some of the escalators even don't operate because of the traffic being so light at this time. So that's one of the things. First, let's talk a little bit about what is open and what is going to be reopening. First of all, in the Caesars system, Caesars, Flamingo, Linq, the Promenade High Roller Observation Wheel opened on 6/4. Harrahs opened on 6/5. The Linq Gaming Floor and that area opened on the 12th. Paris was to open on June 18th. Others like the Linq Hotel, Planet Hollywood, Bally's, Cromwell, and the Rio are scheduled to be open on July 2nd for the reservation system. And Nobu, the hotel inside Caesars, shows opening around July 3rd. So these may be open by the time you see this video. However, at the time, the first openings in Las Vegas were, again, Caesars, Flamingo, in the Caesars system, Harrahs, and then the Linq floor was open, and a lot of the restaurants were open, but the hotel itself was not. So what about MGM, you say? So MGM system, they have opened Bellagio, New York, the MGM, and Signature. Those all opened on Friday, June 4th. The Excalibur opened a little bit later on June 12th, and the Luxor was scheduled to open on June 25th. And then Aria, Mandalay Bay, and Delano, and Mirage are opening later. Aria, Mandalay Bay, and Delano, they seem to be opening July 1st, and then the Mirage won't open until July 16th. So the Videra, Park MGM, and Nomad, they say they're going to open this summer, but no specific times are listed at the moment. So that's sort of what's open in MGM. The Cosmopolitan, which you'll see a lot of footage of, the Cosmopolitan is open. It's opened on Friday, June 4th. The M Resort, the Sahara, the Stratosphere Hotel, they all opened on June 4th, that Friday as well. Treasure Island opened that Friday, first Friday. Westgate, that opened on June 18th. It used to be called the Hilton, but now it's called Westgate. The Venetian and the Palazzo, they both opened on June 4th as well, that Friday. And the Wynn and Encore opened on June 4th as well. So all of those are the hotels that were open or scheduled to open. And again, they actually you'll see some footage from a lot of those hotels, but not all of them. What you're seeing now, of course, is the fabulous Bellagio Fountain Show. Let's talk a little bit about some policies, some COVID policies. Caesars has a universal mask policy. So Caesars announced, and this is, again, this happened after our first week. We were there the first week and this was not enforced. But now Caesars have put a universal mask policy together, and they will require everyone to wear a mask inside the casino for protection. When we first arrived and we first had our first week going, we had seen many masks, but at the same time, we also saw a lot of non-mask wearers. So the casinos, and you'll see in the footage, some people were being cautious, some people were not being cautious. All the hotel employees were wearing masks, but in terms of the guests, they were not. So let's talk about the hotel stay experience. Every hotel kind of has a different safety plan, so be aware of that part. Some of the basic stuff, like some questions out there, like are they still charging resort fees? Yes, they still charge resort fees. If you're staying there and using the amenities, they do charge those. One of the things they are doing is giving complimentary self-parking. So a lot of used to be complimentary, then it's all gone to paid parking over the past few years. But now with the reopening, there is now complimentary self-parking everywhere. Now, what about valet? Well, valet is a different story. There are some hotels that have valet parking services, and some hotels that do not still. So Caesar's Palace, for instance, has no valet service. And then also MGM right now does not have valet services. However, the Venetian, Cosmopolitan, and the Wynn, they all still have valet services. Now, one of the things we did actually valet park in both. In Cosmo, they mentioned nothing about just business as usual. They took your keys and made sure you had their ticket. Whereas Venetian, they wanted to be sure you were okay with them sanitizing the car. So uh, presumably what happens is they will pick up the car, take it to the valet, and then sanitize the car while it's in valet, and then bring it back to you. So anyway, that's nice. Front desk and check-in. You saw a little bit of footage of the front desk area of Caesars. Right now, everyone is pretty much the same in terms of social distancing and cleaning the surfaces after each check-in. Some casinos are more cautious than others. Some of them actually have a payment tray that they offer each individual customer to put the credit card and IDs on, and then give them back. So one of the things that may not be able to happen right now is that $20 handshake upgrade may not happen. There's also social distancing stickers on the floor everywhere. One of the interesting notes is that Cosmopolitan actually did not have the stickers on when we initially checked in, but as we were checking out, they were putting the social distancing stickers on the floor. Now, in subsequent videos, we are going to show you 7 different rooms that we got a glimpse of while we were there. So right now, there's going to be more videos. Again, let me encourage you to like, subscribe, and share this video. And upcoming videos we'll see on this channel. We'll have the gaming experience. We'll have the restaurant experience. The hotel full experience with 7 different room tours, and then also various other videos. So not just from Vegas, but from everywhere else. But we're going to start here with Vegas. So this is a brand new channel, and we hope you can subscribe. So hopefully, I want you to subscribe and share this with your friends, and be sure to check it out. Now back to the hotel stay. There's a temperature check at many of the hotels. Now sometimes they handle it differently. For example, at Bellagio, when we checked in at Bellagio, there was trained EMTs in the line for checking temperature, each person's temperature before they actually checked in. At Caesars, they had a temperature check machine that you would walk through. Whereas at the Venetian, there is a temperature check machine and a body temperature check machine outside the casino. So before you even walk into the casino, before you even get to the check-in area, they're going to be checking your temperature. Now let's talk a little bit about housekeeping. Housekeeping services is only by request. So if you need extra towels, you can request those and other amenities. But again, they are looking to keep out of anybody having personal contact once they've cleaned the room initially before you check in. So if you do want service, you have to request it. And if you need extra amenities, you have to request that as well. So while we were there, we actually didn't get housekeeping at all, but we did actually, one time when I was out in the hallway, I did get extra towels and things of that nature from the housekeeping staff. Now, amenity kits. One of the things we're going to show is that some of the hotel rooms did have amenity kits. Venetian, each room has an amenity kit for the hotel. They have gloves and a mask and hand sanitizer. Same for Bellagio. And then the same for Venetian. They all had a little amenity kit packet in the room. Some hotels have removed a lot of the things that are usually in the room, high-touch items, just so that surfaces are being cleaned once and then not handled by guests and things of that nature. And some of the hotels actually have red and black seals after they've cleaned the room and disinfected the room, so you have a confidence that the room has been sealed and sanitized before you check in. So one of the things we've heard is that some Caesars and Flamingo rooms have had some plumbing issues associated with the fact that the rooms were closed for a couple months. So we didn't experience that in the rooms that we had. And again, we'll see all the rooms that we had later. But we did hear that. That's one of the things that we've heard. So that's kind of the hotel stay experience. So stay tuned and get the in-depth details on each of the rooms. I think you'll enjoy the virtual room tours that we're going to show in the subsequent videos. So now let's talk a little bit about restaurants and the dining experience. That's going to be something to note the next couple of months as Vegas slowly sort of transitions back to normal. Hopefully, there won't be any subsequent shutdowns. But here's what to know. Their restaurants, they're open different hours than they used to be. So be sure you check online to be sure you know exactly when the restaurants are open. Because some of the traditional restaurants that are open later are not open as long. Another thing to watch out for is the restaurants all seem to have limited menus these days, and some of them are very limited. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And of course, the number one thing that's different right now about Las Vegas is the buffet situation. There is one buffet open. It's called the Wynn, of course, very famous. And they have a very different way of doing the buffet these days. So instead of a line and you choosing what you want, you sit down and you order from the menu and they bring it to you. And then they limit like three items per trip. And then I've heard multiple things that some of the service is fast and some of the service is not so fast. So that's kind of up to interpretation. I also understand that the Wicked buffet from Cosmopolitan is about to open, which is great news because one of my favorites. Unfortunately, it was not open while we were there, so that it was disappointing. And of course, other buffets like the Bellagio buffet, Caesar's buffet, Bacchanal buffet, and many of the other great buffets are not open at the moment. And so we don't know exactly how that's going to work, but that's one of the biggest differences right now in Vegas is no buffets, or very few. The restaurants, some of the restaurants do add a COVID-19 surcharge. It's kind of weird. Some of the restaurants that are open, and again, all the restaurants aren't open, but some of them are open and they are doing a surcharge, kind of a social distancing fee or something like that. So we've heard of El Segundo Sol in the Fashion Show Mall adding like a 4% surcharge. That Lotus Siam, which is supposed to be one of the great restaurants, Let Us Entertain You, also owns the Joe's Seafood and Prime Steak and Stone Crab at the Forum, and Ami Gabi at Paris. They all have these little surcharges, and so be sure to be on the lookout for that and be aware that those are available. Some of them are called a DN franchise fee, and they're between 4 and 5%. So anyway, that's just something to note about the dining experience. Again, a lot of restaurants were open, a lot of restaurants were not open. So it becomes sort of a, pick and choose your poison. There were some great restaurants that were open, but there were some of our favorites that were not open. So one of the things I will say about the Vegas experience that's most effective, at least from our perspective, is the restaurant experience. And the other thing to note, when you are at the restaurants, most of them are not going to have a menu at this point. Most of them have what you have to do with a virtual menu, which is use your smartphone and you scan the barcode on a coaster or something of that nature, and you're able to view the menu. Again, it's not quite the same. It's not bad, but it's just kind of different, and so it's something to get used to for now, as long as we're in the COVID era. So just be aware of that and enjoy, though. There's still some fantastic restaurants in Vegas. So now let's talk a little bit about the gaming experience itself. It's very different from each casino. There's a lot of differences in how the everything's set up. First of all, some casinos have adopted like for instance MGM have adopted the idea of having plexiglass on the tables. Uh, every employee actually wears a mask. That's the drink servers, the dealers, the people cleaning the machines. Everyone on the floor who works for the casino is wearing masks. So that's part of it. Now they do things like social distancing the slots, whereas they will black out certain slots so that you can't play right next to another slot, and then they put chairs only at the slots that are absolutely open. And so, as you see, in a lot of these shots, there are people wearing masks playing, but again, that is now mandatory. Whereas the week we were there, they were not. Some casinos do not put plexiglass on the table games. They just seat the players a little bit further apart, and then they encourage not to have guests behind the players. So it's kind of a hit and miss in terms of how successful social distancing is with the gaming experience. All the casinos do have hand wipes near the elevators and hand sanitizers in many places around there. MGM casinos have hand washing stations on the casino floor, which actual sinks for people to wash their hands, and also have supplies for masks and gloves and things of that nature. So that is very encouraging to see. And again, now it is mandatory in Vegas for everyone to be wearing masks. So now it's going to be a lot different. Right now, there was a difference while we were there between sort of Bellagio with the plexiglass and the distinct separation at table games, whereas Cosmopolitan did not quite have as much separation. So that is kind of something that we noted. Not not no judgment on that. It's just a matter of fact that the fact that they didn't have plexiglass did keep it from being completely social distancing. Now, here's something good about the situation is that as a promotion for people coming back, they have new five times tier points promotions through the end of June, and also MGM has done it through December, where they're going to give lowering the tier credits required to achieve the status like Pearl or Gold or Platinum. So it's easier to advance your tier and enjoy the benefits. So this is a nice little thing for players to encourage them to come back and play more. But again, most of the gaming experience is pretty much the same. Some table games would be different and feel weird with the plexiglass. Some they would not, but now it's going to be, I think a little more strict because they do not want to close again. So they're going to be more strict on enforcing the mask rules. So now let's talk about Vegas entertainment and activities and shopping. First of all, everyone knows, Vegas is a entertainment capital of the world in some respects. Right now, all shows are canceled because of social distancing guidelines about gatherings. However, there's always sort of some of the main attractions like the Bellagio fountain show. It seems like it's actually going faster than usual, or on a quicker cycle than usual. It's usually every 30 minutes until 8 p.m. and then after 8 p.m. every 15 minutes. But it seems like it's a little bit faster than that in the evening. At least it was the first week. Bellagio also has the conservatory. Right now, it's Japanese theme, and Hello Kitty is the global Olympic ambassador for Japan. So it's definitely a nice little thing to see. Again, the Venetian still has got their gondola rides. They do have an indoor or outdoor ride. The Linq has the high roller still, so it's still a great scene or sight to see if you're on the Linq. Flamingo has the wildlife habitat open, and then again, those attractions are still available. Mirage being closed means the volcano is not active at the moment. However, there's still other things. Like one of the biggest attractions, as you'll see in this line, is everyone's waiting for the M&M store to open. And there's still shopping, and we mentioned shopping is a little bit limited. There are, the Fashion Show Mall, which has got a lot of stores that are closed still, but it's the store itself is open. The Miracle Mile shops, they were closed initially, but opened while we were there again, about half capacity. The Forum shops the same way. So the shopping experience itself is changed quite a bit. In terms of the pool experience, the pools are open, and they are the most crowded place in the casinos right now because I guess limited other amenities. So the cabanas are still available for rent. They do practice social distancing. They wipe the pool chairs after each use. You need to make a reservation to get a chair. We have a little bit of the scene from the Caesars pool. It was very crowded. Again, they tried to be distanced quite a bit, but again, it was a little hard to be socially distanced when that's the most popular place in the casino. One attraction we haven't talked about much is the sports book, the race and sports book experience. Yes, they are open. However, as you know, there's not many sports to be betting on. Where can you bet? Well, you can bet in every major casino. As you can see, though, the sports books at the moment are fairly light. I think there's golf, there's NASCAR, and a little bit of horse racing is still available at the sports book. But what's the best sports book in Vegas? That it depends on each, what you're looking for. They all have different qualities and features. Some of the sports books are not reopened. Obviously, the sports books in the closed casinos are not open at the moment. But Bellagio Sportsbook is open. The Cosmopolitan Sportsbook is open. One of the best parts about the sportsbook is the screens. Some of the great sportsbooks have fantastic screens to watch the sports, and it's really fun when those big events are happening and people are betting money on it. So I think sports books are available, and they'll be better when more sports come back. So that's kind of the idea about sports books. So anyway, again, we want to we want to let you know about the requirement again to wear face masks now. You'll see in these videos there wasn't enforced requirement, but now there is. So be sure you are ready to wear a mask everywhere in Vegas when you go. In conclusion, we want to say, hey, it still feels like Vegas in a lot of ways, in a lot of important ways, but it's not quite there. But at the same time, it needs to get back. So it still needs people to come and play. So feel free to come out and play, and feel free to keep watching our videos. We've got a lot more to come. We've got, again, room tours, restaurant tours, gaming in particular, like more in-depth gaming videos. We just really hope you join us again. So we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.